You can parent objects to one another inside of After Effects. You can also create something called a null object, which doesn't actually show up when you render your comp. Think of a null object as the puppet master. So let's say you have a bunch of objects and you don't want to move all of them one at a time. Instead, you create this null object and everything can be controlled by that. So let's go ahead and take care of the parenting first. Now, as usual, I want to keep things simple, so I'm going to use solids so we can just focus on what we're doing. I'll go ahead and move this down a little bit. So I'm going to go to the layer menu and create a new solid. And we'll call this one, of course, well, deep blue. We'll go ahead and get rid of the word solid. We don't need that. I'll make this a little lighter so we can see what's going on. And I'm going to just shrink this down a little bit. And we'll create another solid. And this time we'll make this one yellow or greenish. And we're going to shrink that one down as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the arrangement between these two so that when the green one moves, the blue one goes along for the ride. So we're going to make this guy the parent. We have two methods for doing this. We have this guy right here called a pick whip, and we also have the parent menu. Let's go ahead and do this one first. So I'm going to choose the blue layer. I'll drag the pick whip, which is the most fun word to say in the world, pick whip. And what I could do is I could drag it to an object. And when I let go right on top of this object, the name of it appears right here. So now we know that the deep blue has a parent called lime green. So watch what happens when I move blue. The blue moves by itself and the parent stays put. When I click on the parent now and move it, the blue goes along for the ride. Now the blue's going to grow up and he's going to move out the house. So I'm going to go here now to the menu and choose none. So he's like packing his bags and going to college. Bye. So he moved out. Now we can of course do this in another way. We can make the blue the parent of this guy. So I'm going to go to the green layer and I'm going to choose his parent right from here. So the parent will be deep blue. So when I click on deep blue, the parent goes along for the ride. Off to the senior's home. Okay, so that is how parenting works. As you can see, you can use the pick whip or you can use the menu. When you're done, you can go ahead and turn that relationship off by choosing none. So now let's talk about a null object. You see, if I were to render this with two pictures, the pictures would render, but I might want to have a parent that I can move and these guys will go with it. So I'm going to go to Layer, New, Null Object. And here's the null. And of course we can name it. And I'm going to go ahead and call it Parent. And what I'm going to do is take the null object, which won't render, by the way. Once again, you're not going to see this at all when you render. And we're going to go ahead and make these guys its children. So I'm going to go to each layer, lime green, parent. Don't forget we named the null object parent. Go to deep blue, parent. Now, of course, you don't have to click on the layer. You can do this from anywhere, but I just like to keep things simple so we can follow along. Now I'm going to move the blue, independent, green, independent, and the null moves them both. Whatever I do to the null will affect the kids. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the S on my keyboard to scale. I'll scale the null, and the kids get scaled too. I'll rotate by hitting R, and of course, I can rotate the null, and the kids get rotated. So as you can see, it's really a great choice to use a null whenever possible.